So I do want to point out a few facts about thiol chemistry that are going to be different from alcohol chemistry, because in general thiols are going to act a lot like alcohols, but there are some notable differences between sulfur and oxygen. The first is that sulfur does not undergo hydrogen bonding. So while we talk about alcohols having intermolecular forces in terms of hydrogen bonding, this isn't true for thiols. Thiols do not undergo hydrogen bonding, they are strictly dipole-dipole, so their intermolecular forces are weaker. The second is that sulfur is a better acid than oxygen. It doesn't form as great of bonds with hydrogen, and because of this, when we look at sulfide, the S- ion attacking as a nucleophile, with alkoxides we do have to worry about elimination reactions. So something like tert butoxide, historically we've used in the class to do elimination reactions to generate carbon-carbon double bonds through elimination reactions. This is not going to be true with thiols. Thiols in principle can do eliminations, but they are kind of sluggish in that regard. They're far more better at doing substitution reactions than they are elimination reactions. Another comment, when we talk about oxidations of thiols, this is going to be different than oxidations of alcohol. So when we talk about an oxidation of alcohol, we're referring to the oxidation state of carbon attached to the OH. To make this complicated, when we talk about oxidation of thiols, what we're actually talking about is binding oxygen to the sulfur itself. So oxidation of thiol is referring to the oxidation state of sulfur, not the carbon it's bound to. Now, last important comment. Sulfur does not form double bonds with carbon. So it's just too big to do it. We're not going to see that like carbonyl chemistry that we see with oxygen-carbon. The oxygen-carbon double bond occurs. This is how we get aldehydes and ketones. Sulfur-carbon double bonds do not occur, so we cannot create like the aldehyde ketone equivalent of sulfur versus oxygen. So those are your big points there. When you're doing this chemistry, just kind of keep this in mind. There are some limitations to thiols. In general, they're very analogous to alcohols, but there are definitely some key differences.